Goes out of bounds, and they're going to say it was last touched by the Trojans. So York Suburban had numbers, but unable to capitalize as the ball goes out of bounds, and I think the officials say it went off the leg of Brooks Sargent for York Suburban, so Greencastle will get the ball back. Tied at 8, 2:20 to go, opening quarter, first round action. PIAA District 3 5A basketball playoffs. Certainly after a pandemic season, Jason, always glad to make it to the postseason.
Absolutely.
Noblet looks to drive, kicks it back to Jenna Powell. 15-footer, back of the rim, won't go. Rebound pulled down by Sargent for York Suburban. As the Trojans with the basketball tied at 8 here in this one. Greencastle still in the man-to-man defense. Again, lob it inside the number 34 pairing. That's the second straight time York Suburban has tried to work that pass to pairing. It worked the first time. That time it didn't, as the Blue Devils come away with the basketball. Noblet gets it off to Mia Libby. Libby looks to drive, now kicks it back near side to Haley Noblet. Noblet with a jab step, now a three-point shot, a little strong. And a defensive rebound pulled down by Maddie Pairing for York Suburban. Quickly up the other end, Rissmiller with the basketball for the Trojans. She gives it off to Doherty, now back to Pairing. Sargent. Little weave at the top of the key there for York Suburban. Left-handed three-point shot by Rissmiller won't go. And Haley Noblet with the rebound for the Blue Devils. She gets it up ahead to Lauren Poole. Poole can't handle the pass, and the ball goes out of bounds. And we'll go back to York Suburban, as Olivia Winslow will quickly check back into the game. She will replace Lauren Poole.
John, early on here, Greencastle really working the perimeter of that defense, looking for openings for the three-point shot, whereas York Suburban really works around the perimeter, but you get the feel like they're really watching for an inlet pass to work the ball down low.
Trojans with the basketball, 8-8 score, three-point shot by Hare, a little strong, and the rebound pulled down by Olivia Winslow for Greencastle. Up the floor come the Blue Devils. Haley Noblet with the basketball. Clock down to 43 seconds to go in the opening quarter. Libby looks to drive. A little floater in the lane won't fall, but a whistle and a foul.
Looks like they're going to call it on the floor,
yeah,
not a shooting foul.
Yeah, didn't see him put the two fingers up, so that will be on the floor. Foul called on number 33, Brooks Sargent, her first. Both teams with only one foul here in this first quarter. Very cleanly played quarter so far.
Little bailout there by Mia Libby. She was running out of time, bounced it off York Suburban player out of bounds.
Greencastle is able to inbound it. Haley Noblet goes inside to Jenna Powell. Nice move inside as Powell's able to find some space and score. First basket of the game for the senior Jenna Powell. She has 2 points, puts the Blue Devils up 10-8 here in the final 25 seconds of this opening quarter. Shot by Pairing off the glass, won't fall. Olivia Winslow with the rebound for the Blue Devils as they look to push the ball up the floor quickly. Mia Libby near wing. Looks to go around a screen, but a nice switch there by York Suburban cuts that off. Give the ball back to Libby, and a travel will be called on the Blue Devils. And York Suburban will get the ball back with 6.8 seconds to go and a chance to tie or go ahead with a three-point shot. As the first substitution for York Suburban, Shao Warren into the game for the Trojans. As Doherty will inbound the ball, she gets it into Sargent. Quickly running out of time, a pass is stolen by almost. Almost.
She had just a little wee bit more time, but she didn't know it.
Winslow with the steal, the pass to Noblet. Noblet got it up to Libby, who just kind of tipped it towards the basket as the first quarter comes to an end. You're watching the Antrim Insurance live stream on the F&M Trust Sports Network, midpennbroadcasting.com, the sportspage.blog, WRGG 93.7 FM, and WRGG.org.
Banking done your way. It's the power to make life better. It's the convenience of managing funds anytime, anywhere with mobile banking. Even better, it's the satisfaction of working with local pros who are more responsive and in tune with you. That's why today, more families and businesses are choosing F&M Trust. So when you're ready to have banking done your way, visit any of F&M Trust's 22 locations, all right here in South Central PA, and online at fmtrust.bank. Member FDIC.
When it comes to your HVAC needs, you want to call the experts. At Lecron's Comfort Solutions, we specialize in the sale and service of Trane Mitsubishi electric ductless systems. These heating and air conditioning systems provide you maximum comfort at home. As the Trane Mitsubishi Electric Ductless Pro, Lecron's Comfort Solutions is proud to serve the greater Greencastle area, including Mercersburg, Waynesboro, and Chambersburg. Lecron Comfort Solutions. Visit lcomfortsolutions.com and book your free estimate today.
As we start quarter number 2, just want to let you know we are having some video issues on the Mid-Penn Broadcasting feed, but from what I understand, we do have audio on Mid-Penn Broadcasting, also audio on WRGG 93.7 FM, WRGG.org. So you might not be able to see what's going on, but at least you can hear what's going on as we get underway here in the second quarter. A turnover by York Suburban to start the second quarter, and the Blue Devils with the basketball. 7:40 to go until halftime. 10-8. Greencastle with the lead. Libby thought about a three. Now she's going to drive. Has her shot. It wasn't deflected, Jason, but it certainly was a nice defensive play there by Paring, which forced Libby to kind of throw it away from the basket.
Yeah, alter the shot significantly.
Just a little bit.
But they get lucky here. That ball went off of York Suburban, and they retain possession here.
Yeah, great defend. There's a pass. Tried to get it back to Libby as Haley Noblet throws it away. And a turnover by Greencastle will give the ball back to the York Suburban Trojans.
And John, these defenses are really forcing these turnovers, but they're in the first quarter. 5 for York Suburban, 4 for Greencastle. If it wasn't for that one in the last seconds, it's evenly matched.
Trojans with the basketball. Rissmiller's shot won't fall. Rebound pulled down by Lauren Poole, and then Poole is tied up by Maddie Paring. Possession arrow points the way of Greencastle, so the Blue Devils will get the ball back, leading 10-8 with 7:14 to go in the opening quarter. Greencastle led so far tonight by Haley Noblet and Sage Wilhide. They each have 3 points in the game, 4 points each for Doherty and Paring for York Suburban. Blue Devils work the ball around. 3-point shot by Mia Libby, a little bit strong. Ball was deflected, but Haley Noblet comes away with the loose basketball for Greencastle. She gives it up to Libby. Now over to Haley Noblet. Noblet trying to create some space. Not really a whole lot there. Now Libby comes near side back to Noblet. Noblet tries to come off a screen. Nice switch on defense there by York Suburban. Now again, Libby trying to penetrate. Cut off nicely, puts up a shot and is fouled. So Mia Libby trying to create offense on her own, is able to get the shot off. Can't convert, but she is fouled. And Jason, that'll be the second foul on Brooke Sargent.
Yeah, and John, the York Suburban defense, they are jumping right out on the Blue Devils on the perimeter. They are not giving an opportunity there. You can tell they scouted it. You know, they know there's a lot of three-point opportunities here. They are really on the perimeter for Greencastle.
First free throw and the second free throw by Mia Libby are both good. So Libby 2 for 2 from the line. She has 4 points in the game, gives Greencastle their biggest lead so far this evening. Blue Devils leading York Suburban 12-8 with 6 minutes and 20 seconds to go here in the second quarter. Sargent with the basketball, and I think they're going to say a travel. I'm not sure if that was on Paring or Sargent as the whistle blew just as the pass was made. Either way, it will be a turnover by York Suburban, and the Blue Devils will get the basketball back, leading by 4. And more miscommunication there. We've seen that several times tonight, Jason.
Yeah.
Noblet and Libby not on the same page a couple of times.
Yeah, Mia cut like she was going to go through the paint, and just as she cut, Ashley or Haley went all season and then do it in the playoff. Haley just read it the other way.
Trojans with the basketball. Brooke Sargent in the paint, tried to put up a shot, had the ball knocked away. Greencastle comes away with it. Now a 2-on-1. Libby, nice pass across. And I think it was Rissmiller that got a hand on the pass. And they're going to say it was last touched by York Suburban. And actually, Jason, for the first time all year, visiting fans allowed into the gym, and they didn't like that call. But maybe a little bit of karma there as the pass was last pass inbounds. Goes through Sage Wilhide's hands, and York Suburban eventually ends up with the basketball back. So all works out for the Trojan fans. 12-8, Greencastle with the lead, 5:50 to go until halftime. York Suburban with the basketball. Far corner, Miller gets it back up top to Sargent, work it around. Three-point shot by Grace Hare is good. Her first basket of the night. She has 3 points. And the Trojans get back to within one, 12-11. Greencastle with the lead, pass inside to Lauren Poole. And I believe that was deflected, or no, they're going to say it wasn't. I thought that might have been deflected as the ball went straight up into the basket support.
We've seen a number of Greencastle shots tonight be very
altered.
But what's causing that is they have good height, York Suburban does, and they're right on top of the shooter, and so the shooter's trying to alter their shot, and it just goes.
Three-point shot, too strong there by Hare. And then a scramble underneath for the loose ball. And I believe it's going to be a foul called on York Suburban, Jason, and I think that's going to be on Brooke Sargent, and that's her third.
I was going to say, that's number 3.
So with 5:12 to go until halftime, you almost think that's going to prompt a substitution, but it doesn't really look like it, as Sargent is going to stay in the game with 3 personal fouls here, and we're not even to the midway point of the second quarter. Blue Devils inside to Lauren Poole. Her shot was blocked by Paring, and once again, Jason, Paring underneath causing all sorts of problems for the Blue Devils. Shot underneath won't go. Rebound pulled down by Doherty. Her follow is good. 6 points on the night for Alyssa Doherty and a 1-point lead for York Suburban as Sage Wilhide unable to convert on that 3, and the ball bounces over the backboard. And the ball will go back to York Suburban. And Jason, you said it earlier, York Suburban defensively is doing a nice job to take Greencastle out of their rhythm. And it seems to be working a little bit better here in the second quarter.
Yeah, the shots that Greencastle's trying to put up are contested, and they got a hand in their face.
3-point shot by Miller comes up empty. Paring was there underneath, was able to get a hand on it, but not able to control the basketball. And it goes out of bounds back to Greencastle as Olivia Winslow
John,
into the game for Greencastle.
I am surprised they're leaving Brooke Sargent on the floor here with 3 fouls halfway through the first quarter. Or the second quarter.
It's interesting. We'll see. We'll see how it plays out here over the last 4 minutes of this first quarter, or first half. Blue Devils with the basketball, trailing by 1. Wilhide with the basketball, gets it off to Haley Noblet. Actually, JC, you'd almost like to see Greencastle try and work a switch to where Libby could work on Sargent, and there's a shot by Libby is good in the paint. Something we've seen Mia Libby do all season. That little floater in the paint is good. Libby with 6 points in the game puts the Blue Devils back on top, 14-13. 3:40 to go, first half from Greencastle. PIAA District 3 5A first round playoff game. Grace Hare for 3 off the back of the rim. The ball was touched by a York Suburban player. Greencastle able to come away with it. Now some contact down on the other end as Miller goes to the ground, no call. And York Suburban comes away with the loose basketball. Sargent with it for York Suburban. She gives it off to number 10, Grace Hare for 3. Her shot won't fall. The follow-up by Paring won't go. And Mia Libby is there to pull down the loose ball for Greencastle. Quickly up the floor. Noblet looks to drive, gets it off to Olivia Winslow. Winslow forces up a shot that won't go, but she is fouled.
Again, all contested shots.
Foul will be called on number 34, Maddie Paring, her first. Team foul number 5 for York Suburban. As Olivia Winslow will go to the line for Greencastle, and her first shot is just a little strong. As Shaw Warren checks back into the game for York Suburban, she will replace Janae Miller. Winslow will get a second opportunity here from the line, and she's able to knock that one down. So the first point of the night for Olivia Winslow puts the Blue Devils back up by 2. 15-13, Greencastle with the lead. 2:55 to go until halftime. Here in this first round matchup between the Blue Devils and the Trojans. York Suburban with the basketball. Warren far side. Gets it back up top to Hare. Bounce pass near side to Brooke Sargent. Now they get it to Doherty. She's left alone. She'll try a 3. A little strong, and the rebound pulled down by Winslow for the Blue Devils. Now Noblet will bring it up the far side. back to Noblet. Corner three won't go. Nice rebound there by Paring in traffic. And quickly, York Suburban looks to counterattack, and a pass for Doherty just a little too tall. And the ball will go out of bounds. Back to Greencastle.
That was a good look for Greencastle, that last trip down. The way they moved that ball around, and Haley got a nice open look at a three, and it almost went down. It was a good-looking shot.
2 minutes and 15 seconds to go until halftime. Blue Devils with the basketball and a 2-point lead. Nice pass to Lauren Poole coming off that screen, Jason. A play we've seen Greencastle run a lot this season.
Say, how many times have we seen that come across that baseline?
Poole with her first basket of the night puts the Blue Devils back up by 4. That matches their biggest lead of the game. 17-13 Greencastle with the lead. 1:55 to go until halftime. Here from Greencastle, York Suburban with the basketball. Paring's going to come back up top to Brooke Sargent. Now go far side to Warren. Warren going to drive in traffic. Her shot was blocked by Lauren Poole. And the Blue Devils come away with the basketball. Mia Libby looks to take it 1-on-4, and she's able to go right around Sargent, Jason. And right there, the 3 fouls. Sargent had to back off on defense, and that allowed Mia Libby the opportunity to score the basket. And a timeout called by York Suburban. We're going to take a break. 1:34 to go until halftime. Blue Devils with a 19-13 lead. You're listening to the Antrim Insurance live stream on the F&M Trust Sports Network, midpennbroadcasting.com, thesportspage.blog, WRGG 93.7 FM, and WRGG.org.
Greencastle Eye Care Center has been the area's premier eye care provider since 1984. Dr. Sandra Fink-Freeman and Dr. Charlie Parsons provide comprehensive eye exams, including medical eye exams and contact lens fittings for patients from age 1 to over 100. The office has a complete optical department with a wide variety of frames for adults and children. Conveniently located in the John Grove Medical Center off Exit 5 along I-81, Greencastle Eye Care Center is your family eye care provider, always accepting new patients. Call us at 717-597-7708.
Welcome back to Greencastle Antrim Senior High School. 1:30 to go until halftime. York Suburban with the basketball coming out of the timeout. Sargent able to get the ball across the timeline to Janae Rissmiller. The Trojans with the basketball trailing by 6, 19-13. Greencastle with their biggest lead of the night. Sargent for 3 off the back of the rim won't fall. The rebound followed up nicely. I believe that was Alyssa Doherty who got that, and it was her. Doherty able to follow and get the layup to go. She has 8 points and gets the Trojans back to within 4. Now, loose ball on the floor, tied up. As I think there were 3 sets of arms for York Suburban and just 1 for Greencastle. But the held ball is called, and the possession arrow points towards the York Suburban side of the floor. So the Trojans will get the basketball with 1 minute to go here in this second quarter. Again, the Blue Devils with a 19-15 lead. And this one, again, the winner moves on to the quarterfinals Friday to play the winner of Mechanicsburg and Hershey. That game will be played at the highest seed, so if Mechanicsburg wins, they will have the home game. If Mechanicsburg would happen to lose, it would be the winner of this game would have the game. 3-point shot won't fall. Doherty was able to get the rebound, but then Mia Libby took it right away from her. And Doherty didn't like the call. She's going to have a few words with the official.
It was either going to be a Greencastle turnover because that dribble come ripping out of Mia Libby's hands, and the official saw it and realized it's either a turnover or I got to call that foul. And
first foul of the game for Alyssa Doherty. Greencastle gets the ball back with 34 seconds to go here until halftime. Blue Devils with a 19-15 lead. Far corner, Haley Noblet with the basketball, comes back up top to Libby. Libby gives it off to Wilhide. Now back to Noblet, down to 20 seconds to go in the quarter. Certainly looks like Greencastle is going to hold for 1 shot here to end this first half. Inside to Lauren Poole, she gets it back to Noblet. 3-point shot way too strong, and the rebound pulled down by Sargent for York Suburban. And now the Trojans with an opportunity here to score at the end of the second quarter, and the ball goes out of bounds. Off the Sargent miss.
John, did you notice Sargent had to pull off?
Didn't want to risk a charge.
Haley Noblet was getting ready to set up for a charge, and she had to pull up and just shoot a jumper.
And the shot would not count even if it had gone by Mia Libby, as we have reached halftime here. from greencasting.com, the sportspage.blog, WRGG 93.7 FM, and WRGG.org.
Shippensburg Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine, with offices in Shippensburg, Greencastle, Waynesboro, and Newville, specializes in orthopedic and sports-related injuries. Our therapists are experts in utilizing the most current therapy techniques, from hands-on manipulation to therapeutic exercise and aquatic therapy. We are a locally owned and operated practice and have a vested interest in the individual patient and community. Shippensburg Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine. Online at shippt.com. Phone 717-477-8030.
Barn Quilt Trails are in 45 states in America, and the newest trail is in Franklin County, Pennsylvania. Follow the trail, the Stitches in Time Barn Quilt Trail. It is a great way to explore Franklin County any time of the year. 3 dozen quilt squares hosted at more than 2 dozen sites, showcases of the charm of small towns, the beauty of farmland and forest, share stories of history, and commemorates family and friends. Visit ExploreFranklinCountyPA.com to view the guidebook online or download a copy. Contact 717-552-2977 if you would like a copy mailed. It's a great way to explore Franklin County, PA.
You might know the name Lecron. For more than 30 years, Lecron's Comfort Solutions has been taking care of heating and cooling needs for residents throughout Greencastle, Mercersburg, Waynesboro, and Chambersburg. Our professional, uniformed HVAC technicians arrive on time and treat you and your home with respect. Visit lcomfortsolutions.com and book your free estimate today. Lecron's Comfort Solutions. Local name, professional work.
Mondor Pharmacy in St. Thomas and Mercersburg, and McLaughlin's Drugstore of McConnellsburg, your friendly neighborhood pharmacy. Free delivery and drive-through at all 3 locations. We carry Willow Tree products as well as other gift items. Mondor Pharmacy of St. Thomas and Mercersburg, and McLaughlin's Drugstore of McConnellsburg. Open Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 7 p.m., and Saturday, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m.
Third quarter underway from Greencastle. Blue Devils with the basketball. Mia Libby looks to drive. Off-balance shot in traffic, won't fall. And the rebound pulled down by Janae Rissmiller for York Suburban. Blue Devils with a 19-15 lead to start the second half here, as the three-point shot unable to fall for Grace Hare. And the ball goes out of bounds. Blue Devils will get possession. We do have video back on midpennbroadcasting.com. We certainly apologize for the issues with the camera, but we are back fully operating on both WRGG 93.7 FM and midpennbroadcasting.com. Good news is, Jason, we got the most important part of the game for you, the second half.
Yeah, second half.
Blue Devils had the ball and lost it. York Suburban comes away with it. Sargent gets it up ahead to Rissmiller. Rissmiller bounce pass back to Brooke Sargent. She has 3 fouls in the games. Didn't sit out at all in the second quarter with those 3 fouls, Jason, which was a bit of a surprise.
Yeah.
Nice move in traffic there by Alyssa Doherty. She's able to work her way through a number of Blue Devils and convert on the basket. She's into double digits with 10 points and gets her team back to within 2. Greencastle with a 19-17 lead. Just underway here in the third quarter. 6:48 to go in this third quarter. Blue Devils with the basketball. Mia Libby goes far side to Sage Wilhide. Wilhide looks to come off a screen. Now gets it back up top to Libby. Again, York Suburban in a man-to-man defense. Pretty much what we've seen all night for the Trojans. Greencastle struggling at times to find an open shot against this Trojan defense. Wilhide does find some space, can't hit the 3, and the rebound comes down into the arms of Maddie Perring for York Suburban.
John, we've seen Sargent alter her style of play absolutely 2 or 3 times on offense and defense in the first half.
3-point shot by Rissmiller, a little strong. Rebound pulled down by Mia Libby for the Blue Devils. Greencastle looks to push the ball up the floor. Libby high off the glass and good. So Mia Libby with the first points for Greencastle here in this second half. She has 10 points in the game. Puts the Blue Devils back up by 4, 21-17. Greencastle with the lead, 5:45 to go, third quarter. Trojans with the basketball, tried to lob it inside, tried to get it to Alyssa Doherty. The pass was a little strong, goes out of bounds. And York Suburban head coach Jessica Barley will call a 60-second timeout. We'll take a break, 5:40 to go. Here in the third quarter, you're watching the Antrim Insurance live stream on the F&M Trust Sports Network, midpennbroadcasting.com, thesportspage.blog, WRGG 93.7 FM, and WRGG.org.
Waynesboro and Newville specializes in orthopedic and sports-related injuries. Our therapists are experts in utilizing the most current therapy techniques, from hands-on manipulation to therapeutic exercise and aquatic therapy. We are a locally owned and operated practice and have a vested interest in the individual patient and community. Shippensburg Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine. Online at shippt.com. Phone 717-477-8030.
Welcome back to Greencastle Antrim Senior High School. 5 minutes, 40 seconds to go. In the third quarter, Greencastle with a 21-17 lead here in this one tonight. One score to report for you. Hershey, the number 16 seed, leading Mechanicsburg at the half, 20-17. So certainly something we'll have to keep an eye on for you. An upset brewing in Mechanicsburg is the number 16 seeded Hershey team with a 3-point lead over top-seeded Mechanicsburg. That's a game that has major implications on this one.
Wait a minute.
Ball goes out of bounds, and the officials are going to talk about it.
Greencastle was running that play, John, where Powell or Olivia comes through the baseline, and that pass went in there. Yeah, and Coach Ryan had a good look at it, and the backcourt ref had to step in because the other two officials were going to rule that Suburban ball. And credit to the officials, the one who saw it.
Libby again running out of time on the 5-second count, just throws it off the leg of Janae Rissmiller. And Greencastle will get another opportunity to inbound the ball. This time they get it into Sage Wilhide.
Sage is looking for that three. She has, set her feet so many times tonight trying to get the ball off.
Far side three for Wilhide, too strong. Rebound by Noblet. And Haley Noblet with an acrobatic shot, able to convert.
How about that shot, John, going underneath the hoop and throwing it back over your head?
Noblet with 5 points in the game. Blue Devils back up by 6, 23-17. Clock ticking down to 5 minutes to go here in quarter number 3. Again, they try and lob it inside the number 34 Pairing. That worked a few times in the first half, and it works there as Maddie Pairing able to get the shot to fall. She has 6 points in the game and gets her team back to within 4, 23-19. Greencastle with the lead. Now Lauren Poole, little turnaround jumper won't go, and a foul will be called on Pairing. That should be her second foul according to my score sheet, and that's exactly what it is. Just the first team foul here in the second half for York Suburban. Lauren Poole at the free throw line. First shot a little strong, off the back of the rim, no good. As Jenna Powell will check into the game.
Every point here, John, is so precious. Greencastle really needing to convert when they get to the line here.
Second shot by Poole is short, but Jenna Powell was there for the offensive rebound. She's unable to get much of a shot off, and the ball goes out of bounds. And York Suburban will get possession of the basketball, trailing by 4 here with 4:41 to go in the third quarter. York Suburban is able to inbound the ball. Sargent gets it across the timeline, had a little trouble there. Now a pass across to Grace Hare, and she is fouled. Jenna Powell will be the guilty party on that one, and that'll be just her first foul of the game. As York Suburban will inbound the basketball in front of their bench. Maddie Pairing will get things started here as she gets it into Brooke Sargent. Sargent with the basketball, comes off a screen, gets it up top to Rissmiller. Nice pass, work it all the way around to Hare. Her three-point shot is good. Grace Hare with her second three-point shot of the night. She has 6 points and gets the Trojans back to within 1, 23-22. Down to 4:05 to go in the quarter. Nice job by Sage Wilhide. Thought about a three, saw an opening, drove it to the basket and scored. So Sage Wilhide with the layup. She has 5, puts the Blue Devils back up by 3 quickly on the other end. A shot by York Suburban won't fall. The follow by Rissmiller won't go. loose ball. Haley Noblet comes away with it for Greencastle. So the Blue Devils with the basketball on a 3-point lead, 3:40 to go, third quarter. And there's a nice defensive play by Rissmiller with the steal. And a block is going to be called on Haley Noblet. Noblet just about maybe a half step behind in getting into position. As Rissmiller runs into her, but they're going to say Noblet wasn't set.
And it's a shooting foul.
And the second foul on Haley Noblet will send Janae Rissmiller to the free throw line. She will shoot a pair of free throws. Look to get this back to a 1-point game. And a little strong on that first free throw. Rissmiller still looking for her first points of the game. We'll get a second opportunity here from the free throw line. That was the second foul on the game for Noblet. Rissmiller is able to convert on the second free throw for her first point of the night. Gets her team back to within 2, 25-23. Greencastle with the basketball and a 2-point lead, 3:30 to go here in quarter number 3. First round action of the District 3 5A playoffs. Again, the winner will play the winner of Mechanicsburg and Hershey. Long 3-point shot by Sage Wilhide is good.
Hey, Sage is getting frustrated right by the painted line, so she says, I'll just back up a little way.
Yeah, back it up 5 feet, find some open space. Wilhide with 8 points in the game puts the Blue Devils back up by 5 as the clock ticks down to 3 minutes to go here in quarter number 3. Brooke Sargent with the basketball for York Suburban. Nice pass inside to Doherty. She lost it. Ooh. And then a nice job there by Jenna Powell to go to the floor and tie up Sargent. And the held ball will stay in possession of York Suburban.
That's hustle, John. That's hustle. That was not her. That was not her play. She saw the ball loose and dove in there.
Now Sargent left alone. She'll put one up for 3, a little bit short. Ball's loose on the floor, and Powell and Rissmiller both with the basketball. And again, another held ball. This time Greencastle will get it, as the possession arrow points towards the home team.
John, down here on the offensive end, Brooke Sargent is guarding Sage Wilhide. And we saw something we haven't seen very often, and that's Sage put the ball on the floor and dribble drive.
Libby to the basket, can't get it to fall. Rebound pulled down by Pairing for York Suburban. Trojans with the basketball, trailing by 5, 2:25 to go. Third quarter, tough shot there by Doherty, won't go. And a scramble underneath and a foul will be called on York Suburban. That'll be on Maddie Pairing, her third. So now, Jason, the 2 leading scorers for York Suburban, or I take that back. Pairing is the second leading scorer. Sargent is the leading assist player for York Suburban. They both have 3 fouls here late in this third quarter. Libby had some space, but then a nice job there by Rissmiller to hustle back and get the block. Sargent on the other end, layup won't fall, rebound pulled down, a follow by Doherty won't go, and the Blue Devils come away with the basketball. Libby,
she traveled.
Unable to control the pass and will be called for the travel.
That was one of those opportunities, John. The freshman, Haley Noblet, she didn't see who was in front of her. It was Sargent. She could have taken the ball right at her, and you know, Sargent was going to have to back off on that. And Sargent showing us that's an experienced player. She knows how to play with this many fouls. And that altered Sargent's shot down here just on the other end. She pulled up short and tried to flip that ball in. You can see that the player knows how to play, but it definitely changes it.
There's a steal by Haley Noblet. Noblet's going to take it to the basket. And I think they're going to say it's a foul on the floor. And the foul will be on Alyssa Doherty, I believe. But they're going to say it was prior to the shot. So Greencastle will inbound the ball underneath their own basket. Chow Warren back into the game for York Suburban.
Had Haley done that a possession or so ago, Sargent might be looking at 4.
Blue Devils inbound it to Wilhide. Her 3 comes up a little bit short. Alyssa Doherty pulls down the loose basketball for York Suburban. Trojans with the basketball, trailing by 5, 28-23 the Greencastle lead, 1:35 to go in the third quarter. Chow Warren with the basketball, gives it off to Brooke Sargent. Now Sargent's going to back things up. High post to Doherty, gets it inside. Pairing, tough little turnaround jump shot won't fall. And Wilhide with the rebound for the Blue Devils, quickly up ahead. There's Olivia Winslow on the break, somehow able to get that over the rim and score.
It was spinning. It was spinning as it went on.
I wasn't sure that was going to get high enough, but somehow Winslow able to get the shot to fall. The Blue Devils with their biggest lead of the night, 7 points. Down to a minute to go here in the third quarter. Big possession for York Suburban. Hare off balance shot won't fall. Pairing, big offensive rebound. Can't get it to fall, but she is fouled. Starting to sense, Jason, we're at that point of the game where a couple of more Blue Devil baskets could really put York Suburban in a hole. So important here for the Trojans to come away with some points in this possession. As Maddie Pairing goes to the line to shoot two, the foul was called on. She's able to knock down the first. I think they said the foul was on Jenna Powell, I believe, her second.
And John, we're getting into once we get into the fourth quarter here, you got to start looking at those fouls. Either team with 3 team fouls, whoever's trailing is not going to want to be very far off from the one-on-one.
Second free throw a little strong. Nice job there by Hare to tie up Jenna Powell, but the ball goes out of bounds. Last touched by York Suburban. Maddie Pairing 1 of 2 from the free throw line, gets York Suburban back to within 6. 30-24, Greencastle with the lead. Down to 45 seconds to go in quarter number 3. Blue Devils with the basketball. Noblet up top to Wilhide. Kick it near side. Mia Libby. Libby looks to come off a screen. Libby into the paint, kicks it off to Wilhide. Wilhide looks to drive, and she is fouled, and I think that's going to be on Sargent.
It is.
And that'll be her 4th.
You know, and it's just like I said, Wilhide was looking to see if she was isolated on Sargent, and as soon as she saw that, that's not Wilhide's game to go on the dribble drag. But she's willing to do it if that's who's going to guard her.
Sargent will head to the bench with 4 fouls. Shaw Warren back into the game for York Suburban. Blue Devils with the basketball down to 25 seconds to go in the third quarter. Mia Libby with the basketball looks to the bench, gets instructions from head coach Mike Rhine. As Greencastle with a 6-point lead, certainly more than happy to hold for one final shot here. Now Libby's going to put up a shot, too strong. Warren had it, lost it. Libby's able to chase it down, and I think that's going to be a foul called. Is it a foul, or was he just pointing that it's York Suburban's ball? I think you're going to call a foul on the Trojans. Yes. And I think that's going to be on number 34, Maddie Pairing. That's her 4th. So now 2 Trojan players with 4 fouls here late in this third quarter, Jason. Greencastle with an opportunity to score at the end of the quarter. Libby, 15-footer, can't get it to go. A follow. Winslow had an opportunity. I think that would have counted, Jason.
I think it would have.
But Winslow unable to convert, so the Blue Devils will head to the bench after 3 quarters with a 30-24 lead. We head to the fourth quarter. You're watching the Antrim Insurance live stream on the F&M Trust Sports Network on midpennbroadcasting.com, thesportspage.blog, WRGG 93.7 FM, and WRGG.org.
Most companies ask for applicants with experience. But where do you get that experience unless somebody gives you a job? Let the U.S. Air Force help. We offer comprehensive job training in over 140 specialties, and we're willing to help pay for the cost of your education to finish your degree. You'll gain unmatched experience for your untapped potential with the United States Air Force. For more information, please contact Sergeant Sear at 717-480-7254. This message was brought to you by the U.S. Air Force in collaboration with Penn Broadcasting.
Welcome back to Greencastle Antrim Senior High School. Quick score update, Jason. Mechanicsburg with a 26-24 lead over Hershey late in quarter number 3. Again, Mechanicsburg, the number 1 seed in the District 3 5A tournament. They will host the winner of this game if they win that game against Hershey. And again, if Hershey's able to pull off the upset, either Greencastle or York Suburban will host that quarterfinal game on Friday night. So certainly a lot of important implications coming out of that game. And a hand check foul is going to be called on Haley Noblet.
Every time that whistle's going to blow with Sargent involved, everybody's going to be watching, taking a deep breath, because it'll end her night.
One other score to report. Again, late third quarter, Shippensburg trails Twin Valley 24-20. Shippensburg, the number 7 seed in the 5A bracket. Again, Shippensburg was the champion of the Mid-Penn Conference Colonial Division this year. Greencastle finishing in a tie for second with Big Spring. Trojans with the basketball. Again, lob it inside Doherty, and that's been working for them tonight, Jason, whether it's Doherty or Pairing. That little lob, they find the advantage
seal.
height-wise,
Yeah.
lob it inside, and they've been able to convert so far.
Yeah, they run it well.
Think
She gets that little seal down low, and then the pass comes over the top.
I think it's safe to say we'll see that a few more times here before this is over. Blue Devils with the basketball, leading by 4. Lauren Poole, little jump shot, won't go. Scramble underneath. Olivia Winslow came away with it, and Winslow was fouled on the follow. And we'll have to see who that's on, Jason. Paring was in the middle of that, but they're going to say the foul's on Alyssa Doherty. That'll be her 3rd.
John, neither team shooting well from the foul line tonight, shooting 50%. These are big points.
Winslow unable to convert that. And again, 2 players for York Suburban, Brooke Sargent and Maddie Paring, both with 4 fouls. And now Alyssa Doherty with 3. So some foul trouble issues for the Trojans.
Oh.
And again, Greencastle continues to struggle from the line. Olivia Winslow 0 for 2 on that trip. And the Blue Devil lead stays at 4. Clock ticking down to 7 minutes to go in regulation. Doherty thought about a 3. Now she drives in traffic. Her shot was blocked by Noblet. And Olivia Winslow comes away with the basketball for Greencastle on the other end. Sage Wilhide is going to skip it all the way across to Noblet, far corner.
Hard to not take that shot.
Noblet's going to dribble out between the circles, reset the Blue Devil offense. Now go far wing to Mia Libby. Libby's going to look to come off a screen, now kick it over to Wilhide. Near 30, as Greencastle calls a full 60-second timeout. We'll take a break, 5:50 to go in the 4th. Tied at 30. You're listening and watching the Antrim Insurance live stream on the F&M Trust Sports Network on midpennbroadcasting.com, the sportspage.blog, WRGG 93.7 FM, and WRGG.org.
Most companies ask for applicants with experience. But where do you get that experience unless somebody gives you a job? Let the U.S. Air Force help. We offer comprehensive job training in over 140 specialties, and we're willing to help pay for the cost of your education to finish your degree. You'll gain unmatched experience for your untapped potential with the United States Air Force. For more information, please contact Sergeant Sear at 717-480-7254. This message was brought to you by the U.S. Air Force in collaboration with Penn Broadcasting.
Welcome back to Greencastle Antrim Senior High School. 5:50 to go in the 4th quarter. First round playoff game in the in the Pennsylvania Interscholastic Athletic Association District 3 5A tournament. Greencastle, the number 8 seed. York Suburban, the number 9 seed. Can't get much closer than this. 30-30. All tied up. Down to 5:40 to go in regulation. Greencastle with the basketball. Haley Noblet between the circles is going to go far side to Wilhide. Wilhide looks to drive. Tried to get it out to Noblet, but Doherty was able to get a hand on it.
And who's she driving to the hoop on? Brooke Sargent.
Trying to get Sargent to pick up that 5th foul.
Yep.
Blue Devils look to inbound, and again, something Greencastle's kind of struggled with tonight, Jason, inbounding the basketball.
Yep.
That's the 3rd time Libby's had to throw it off the leg of a York Suburban player to avoid the 5-second count. Try again, and again, it comes in. And I think they're going to say it hit a York Suburban player while they were standing on the end line. And that's a break for York Suburban, Jason, because the ball ricocheted right to Lauren Poole.
And she made the layup.
Who had an easy layup. Trying to get it into Wilhide. Ball goes off her hand. Wilhide unable to save it.
John, 3 turnovers here early in the 4th quarter.
On 3 straight possessions.
And 6 unanswered points by York Suburban.
As the Trojans inbound the ball in front of the Greencastle bench, and Sargent had to run down a loose pass. She's able to get the ball across the timeline for the Trojans. Now get it back to Janae Rissmiller. Rissmiller gets it to Sargent, now to Alyssa Doherty. Rissmiller 3-point shot, a little bit strong, scramble underneath. Jenna Powell goes to the floor, but Mia Libby able to come away with the basketball for Greencastle. Under 5 minutes to go in regulation. Blue Devils and Trojans tied at 30. Powell, 8-footer is good. Big basket there for Jenna Powell. She has 4 points in the game, puts the Blue Devils back on top, 32-30. 4:45 to go, 4th quarter. Again, the winner advances to Friday night's quarterfinals to face either Mechanicsburg or Hershey. Sargent looks to penetrate, pulls up, finds an opening, tries to get up a shot, can't get it to go. Sargent is on the ground. Greencastle, meanwhile, on the other end. And now the official's going to blow the whistle because of the injured player. Interesting situation there, Jason. I'm not sure what the rule is on that.
I think it's an official's judgment as to whether the player needs attention eminently to stop play.
Sargent, after they stopped play, she was able to get up and walk off the floor on her own. So again, Greencastle had a break on the other end, but it was called off by the whistle. So Greencastle will get the basketball, will keep possession of the basketball. They will inbound underneath their own basket.
I would say in my history, most times they let the play continue and then stop it, or if the play starts to wind down.
And there it is, Jason. 5 seconds called on Greencastle. Once again, the York Suburban defense. Greencastle has struggled all night to inbound the basketball. And Sargent, who was on the ground for a lengthy period of time, forced play to be stopped, quickly checks back into the game. She appears to be fine as Rissmiller takes the inbound pass. And a travel is going to be called on Grace Hare. 4:20 to go here in the fourth quarter. Blue Devils will get the basketball back, leading by 2, 32-30. Haley Noblet comes near side. Sage Wilhide off a screen. Wilhide's going to take it all the way. Her shot won't fall. Nice rebound pulled down by Paring for York Suburban. And now the Trojans with an opportunity to tie it or take the lead. Try to get it inside to Sargent. She kicks it back out. Hare for three, and the lead won't go. And the rebound pulled down by Noblet. Noblet almost fouled, but able to come away with it. Now Noblet is fouled. As Doherty will pick up her fourth foul on the reach on Noblet. Shippensburg down to the final 90 seconds in their game. They trail Twin Valley 28-27.
And this starts the one-on-one, John, for Greencastle. That's going to put Haley Noblet, and here's where you got to make foul shots.
7th team foul of the half for York Suburban. And again, the Blue Devils continue to struggle from the line. Noblet unable to knock down the front end of the one-on-one. And the Trojans get the basketball back trailing by 2. Lob it inside the Paring. Her shot up and good, and she is fouled.
And John, she's going to go to the line with an opportunity to take the lead. I believe for the first time tonight.
Well, they led a couple times early. They led 1-0, and I think they led 6-5 at one point.
Okay.
Mechanicsburg extending their lead out over Hershey, 31-26 in the fourth quarter. Paring's free throw is good, and York Suburban takes the lead. First time they've had the lead since the first quarter, 33-32. Blue Devils with the basketball trailing, 3:25 to go in regulation. Libby with the basketball, gets it off to Noblet. Noblet back to Libby. Again, that man-to-man defense has caused all sorts of trouble for Greencastle here this evening. Wilhide finds some open space. Her three-point shot won't fall. And the rebound pulled down by Grace Hare for York Suburban. As the Trojans with the basketball on a one-point lead, 33-32. Down to 3 minutes to go in regulation. Rissmiller with the basketball, gets it off to Sargent, back to Rissmiller near wing. Left-handed dribble, bounce pass up top, and now York Suburban looking to spread the floor a little bit here, Jason. Maybe a little early to go into an all-out stall, but certainly, wouldn't, like to run at least a little time off the clock.
Yeah, that's definitely what they look to be doing.
Sargent's going to put it up from about 15 feet and hit the jumper. Grace Sargent
picks a fine time to get her first points.
I have that as her first basket of the night.
It is.
And York Suburban starting to pull away here in this fourth quarter, almost a steal. Blue Devils trailing by 3 in desperate need of a basket. Libby's shot won't fall. And the rebound pulled down by York Suburban.
Greencastle's defense needs to get a stop here, John.
Trojans with the basketball almost down to 2 minutes to go in regulation. York Suburban with the basketball on a 35-32 lead. Doherty gets it off to Grace Hare, top of the circle. Now back to Sargent. Sargent had it knocked away. she's able to come back with the ball.
And that's going to end her night.
And that's an offensive foul on Sargent. Jason, she kind of spiked that ball a little bit.
She did.
May be a little fortunate no one saw that.
Yeah,
so
that could have been a technical on top of
certainly
that.
could have. I've seen less called.
I have.
For something like that. So that'll be the 5th foul on Brooke Sargent. She'll leave the game with 2 points and a timeout called. 1:49 to go in the 4th quarter. York Suburban with a 35-32 lead over Greencastle. You're watching the Antrim Insurance live stream on the F&M Trust Sports Network on midpennbroadcasting.com, the sportspage.blog, WRGG, and WRGG.org.
Shippensburg Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine, with offices in Shippensburg, Greencastle, Waynesboro, and Newville, specializes in orthopedic and sports-related injuries. Our therapists are experts in utilizing the most current therapy techniques, from hands-on manipulation to therapeutic exercise and aquatic therapy. We are a locally owned and operated practice and have a vested interest in the individual patient and community. Shippensburg Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine, online at shippt.com. Phone 717-477-8030.
Welcome back to Greencastle Antrim Senior High School. Final 1 minute, 49 seconds in regulation. York Suburban with a 35-32 lead over Greencastle. The winner tonight will advance to the quarterfinals of the PIAA District 3 5A tournament. The loser season will come to an end. And last time we heard, Mechanicsburg was leading Hershey by 3 in the 4th quarter. So as it stands now, and certainly subject to change, the winner of this game would travel to Mechanicsburg on Friday. Blue Devils with the basketball out of the timeout. Jenna Powell comes near side to Libby. Libby looks to drive, nothing there. Noblet, top of the key, three-pointer for the tie, won't fall. Big rebound by Jenna Powell for Greencastle. Blue Devils will maintain possession. Down to 1:25 to go. Now Libby looks to drive, forces up a tough shot. Lauren Poole with the follow. Can't get it to go. Ball knocked out of bounds. And I think they're going to say Maddie Paring was the last to touch it because Greencastle will keep possession. So again, Jason, something the Blue Devils have struggled to do all night. That's inbound the ball.
Inbounding the ball. Go deep.
And again, they throw it right to Paring. So again, another turnover by York Suburban on an inbounds play. That's been the secret or the key for York Suburban's comeback here in this 4th quarter. Now Warren in traffic, and a timeout will be called smartly by Jessica Barley, the coach of York Suburban. A 60-second timeout. We'll take one final break. 1:06 to go in the 4th quarter. York Suburban hanging on 35-32 over Greencastle. You're watching the Antrim Insurance live stream on the F&M Trust Sports Network. MidpennBroadcasting.com, the sportspage.blog, WRGG, and WRGG.org.
Greencastle Eye Care Center has been the area's premier eye care provider since 1984. Dr. Sandra Fink-Freeman and Dr. Charlie Parsons provide comprehensive eye exams, including medical eye exams and contact lens fittings for patients from age 1 to over 100. The office has a complete optical department with a wide variety of frames for adults and children. Conveniently located in the John Grove Medical Center off Exit 5 along I-81, Greencastle Eye Care Center is your family eye care provider, always accepting new patients. Call us at 717-597-7708.
Welcome back to Greencastle Antrim Senior High School. 66 seconds to go in regulation. York Suburban with the basketball and a 3-point lead. And Jason, Greencastle may have to think about a foul here.
Yeah, going to have to keep this at a one-possession game. With no shot clock, they could potentially run you out on this.
Doherty had it knocked loose by Mia Libby, but a foul will be called on Greencastle.
That'll put her on the line for the one-on-one.
That'll be the 7th team foul for Greencastle.
John, neither team shooting the ball well from the line tonight, so is this big? It's real big.
Greencastle outscored 11-2 here in this 4th quarter. Blue Devils with just 2 points, as York Suburban has come back from a 4-point deficit to take a 3-point lead. Free throw on the way is good by Alyssa Doherty. And Jason, she's probably the player you don't want at the line. She's the leading scorer for this Trojan team. She has 17, came into the game averaging a little over 11 a game. And she has a chance here to put her ball club up by 5. And she does just that. 55 seconds to go. Blue Devils trailing by 5. They need to get a shot off quickly here. Libby looks to drive, works her way around, makes the basket. York Suburban very careful not to foul there as Libby gets the Blue Devils back to within 3.
That's not who we want to foul.
Well, you're starting to get to a point where you don't have a choice. Yeah, down to 36 seconds.
Okay, she's going to inbound the ball.
You want to try and deny the ball to Doherty and get it into somebody else's hands.
Well, it's going to be somebody else's hands here, so you need a foul.
And that ball, I thought that went off a wrist Miller.
And that's what the official says. So a timely turnover here.
Blue Devils with the basketball, trailing by 3, down to, oh my. No. Oh, Jason, just not a good time for a bad pass there. As the ball goes out of bounds, Wilhite unable to get a hand on it, or just maybe got a fingertip on it. So back-to-back turnovers. Some contact, no foul called, and Greencastle gets the ball back.
Chance to tie again.
Libby looks to drive in traffic. She's fouled. So Mia Libby will go to the line to shoot 2 and have a chance to bring the Blue Devils back to within 1. Janae Rissmiller called for the foul, just her first of the game. And again, Jason, Greencastle, who struggled from the free throw line, they're 0 for 5 in this fourth quarter.
In the second half.
Or second half, excuse me.
There we go.
As Libby is able to knock down the first free throw, get the Blue Devils back to within 2. Big second free throw here for Mia Libby, and she does hit both, as Mike Ryan will call a 30-second timeout. So a couple of final scores to report. Shippensburg comes out on the losing end of a 33-30 score to Twin Valley. So the number 7 seeded Lady Greyhounds will see their season come to a close. Elsewhere, Mechanicsburg, the number 1 seed in 5A, was able to hang on and defeat Hershey by a score of 35-29. So Mechanicsburg, as the number 1 seed, will host the quarterfinal game Friday night. They will take on the winner of this game between Greencastle and York Suburban. This
and John,
game's still in doubt.
And John, in these critical moments, handling the ball, I'm sure York Suburban would like to have Brooke Sargent on the floor. She's that facilitator. She's that ball handler. So
the senior point guard fouled out midway through the fourth quarter. Suburban is able to get the ball in bounds. Greencastle,
got to worry about the clock.
Big pressure defense. They do just get it across the timeline. Down to 5 seconds. Greencastle has to foul. And actually, Jason, I think they were able to foul the person they want.
Yeah.
Shao Warren,
maybe
the only non-starter in the game right now.
We'll see.
I think anybody but Doherty is a good choice.
And this is 1-on-1.
Opportunity to put her team up by 3, and
That's
she can't
strong.
get it to fall. Libby comes away with it. I'd call timeout if I was Greencastle. The Blue Devils have to get a shot off, and they're not going to do it, Jason. York Suburban's going to come away with the victory as Warren missed the front end of the 1-and-1, and Greencastle unable to get a shot off. So York Suburban will advance to the quarterfinal round as they defeat the Blue Devils here by a score of 37-36. We'll take a break and be back with the postgame show. You're watching the Antrim Insurance live stream on the F&M Trust Sports Network on midpennbroadcasting.com, the sportspage.blog, WRGG 93.7 FM, and WRGG.org.
Banking done your way. It's the power to make life better by working with local pros who are more in tune with you. When you're ready to have banking done your way, visit any of F&M Trust's 22 locations, all here in South Central PA, and online at fmtrust.bank.
People say I'm too serious. Those funny ads for car insurance do nothing for me. I like Erie Insurance. It's seriously good. A great rate, legendary service, accident forgiveness. Not 1 but 8 reasons to switch. Woohoo! See, I can get as excited as the next guy.
Your local Erie agent is Antrim Insurance Agency, 717-593-0500, or visit AntrimInsurancePA.com.
You can count on Premier HVAC services for all your heating and cooling needs. Same-day service, free estimates, 24-hour emergency services, price match guarantee, and free second opinions. Phone 717-597-990.
Full-service advertising agency has been serving the tri-state area for 35 years. We specialize in screen printing and embroidered clothing. Del Martin Incorporated supplies a full range of brand name uniforms for athletic, work, and medical applications, and a full line of advertising essentials. We have an in-house artist ready to put your ideas to work for you. T-shirts for schools.
Great way to explore Franklin County any time of the year. 3 dozen quilt squares hosted at more than 2 dozen sites, showcases of the charm of small towns, the beauty of farmland and forest, share stories of history, and commemorates family and friends. Visit ExploreFranklinCountyPA.com to view the guidebook online or download a copy. Contact 717-552-2977 if you would like a copy mailed. It's a great way to explore Franklin County, PA.
And welcome back to Greencastle Antrim Senior High School, the post-game show brought to you by Antrim Insurance, your local Erie insurance agent serving Greencastle, Waynesboro, Chambersburg, Mercersburg, and surrounding Pennsylvania and Maryland areas. Antrim Insurance, 169 South Antrim Way, Greencastle, and 1685 East Main Street in Waynesboro. John Freeman, Jason Hyman wrapping things up for you here tonight from Greencastle. And Jason, I think the final 8 minutes of this game pretty much determined by that defense of York Suburban.
It absolutely was. You know, both teams were putting a lot of pressure on defense. You're waiting to see who would blink. Well, Greencastle blinked a little bit because they committed how many turnovers in the 6 turnovers in that fourth frame, and it made all the difference in the world.
York Suburban outscoring Greencastle 13-6 over the final 8 minutes of the game to come away with the 37-36 victory. York Suburban will move on to face Mechanicsburg Thursday night in a game. No, it is Friday night. Yeah, Friday night. The boys are tomorrow. Friday night, Mechanicsburg and York Suburban in a quarterfinal matchup in the PIAA District 3 5A tournament. The Trojans tonight led by Alyssa Doherty. She had 18 points in the game. Maddie Perring had 10. 6 points on the night for Gracie Hare. Brooke Sargent in foul trouble a good portion of the night. She fouled out in the fourth quarter. She finished with 2 points in the game and 1 point tonight for Janae Rissmiller. For Greencastle, Mia Libby led the way with 14 points. 8 points for Sage Wilhide, 5 for Haley Noblet, 4 for Jenna Powell, 3 for Olivia Winslow, and 2 points tonight for Lauren Poole. Unfortunately, tonight's loss will wrap up the season for Greencastle and will end the careers of Sage Wilhide, Olivia Winslow, and Jenna Powell. So 3 outstanding players for Greencastle. We'll now move on to be basketball alumni, and we certainly wish them well in their future endeavors and thank them for everything they have done for the Blue Devil girls basketball program over the past 4 years. Certainly sad to see them go, but they will be moving on to bigger and better things, and we certainly wish Sage, Olivia, and Jenna the best. That'll wrap things up here tonight from Greencastle. Just want to let you know that tonight's post-game show has been brought to you by Antrim Insurance, your local Erie insurance agent, serving Greencastle, Waynesboro, Chambersburg, Mercersburg, and surrounding Pennsylvania and Maryland areas. Antrim Insurance, 169 South Antrim Way, Greencastle, 1685 East Main Street in Waynesboro. Again, that'll wrap things up for Blue Devil basketball for the 2020-2021 season. Our next broadcast on WRGG and Mid-Penn Broadcasting will be baseball or softball coming up starting in mid-March. Believe it or not, springtime is around the corner, and Blue Devil baseball and softball will be out on the field doing their thing, and we will be bringing you home games for both Eric Shaner's baseball team and Mark DeCarley's softball team. So that'll wrap things up here tonight for our camera operator, Matt Rock, our engineer, Dr. Greg Hoover, Jason Heilman. He's a great engineer, isn't he?
He is.
He does it all.
He is.
I'm John Freeman. You have yourself a wonderful evening. And once again, our final score tonight from Greencastle, York Suburban with the victory. They'll move on to the quarterfinals of the PIAA District 3 5A tournament. They defeat Greencastle by a score of 37-36. Have a great evening. We'll see you on the baseball field.
Tonight's game brought to you by F&M Trust. If your banking relation feels too distant lately, switch to F&M Trust. F&M Trust is local and makes sure banking is done your way every day. Learn more at fnmtrustonline.com. Member FDIC. Antrim Insurance, your local Erie insurance agent serving Greencastle, Waynesboro, Chambersburg, Mercersburg, and surrounding Pennsylvania and Maryland areas. The Franklin County Visitors Bureau, your great moments are waiting in Franklin County. Let the Franklin County Visitors Bureau help you plan your visit to the beautiful Cumberland Valley. United States Air Force, aim high, make a living with a career that makes a difference. The U.S. Air Force. Dale Martin Incorporated, a full-service advertising agency serving the tri-state area for 40 years. Shippensburg Physical Therapy with offices in Shippensburg, Greencastle, Waynesboro, and Newville, specializing in orthopedic and sports-related injuries. Greencastle Eye Care, a leading provider of optometry services and vision care products in the Greencastle community since 1984. Premier HVAC Services of Greencastle, your local heating and air conditioning professionals. The Sports Page, your news source for Franklin County sports, is at thesportspage.blog. Franklin Hardware and Pet Center, 1975 Philadelphia Avenue in Chambersburg. Horace Mann, founded by educators for educators. Visit Greencastle Representative Jeff Coons, 116 South Antrim Way, Greencastle. Lecron Comfort Solutions, serving all of Franklin County. Olympian Athletics, 55 West Main Street, Waynesboro. Let us outfit your team with uniforms, warm-ups, hats, and so much more. Monor Pharmacy of St. Thomas and Mercersburg, and McLaughlin Drugstore of Chambersburg. And Klein Tours. Visit kleintours.net for a complete tour schedule.